Hey, good morning, Jeepers.
Morning.
Big changes coming to the Mistress. As usual, it's because of a catastrophic failure, so we're going to upgrade it. Check it out.
Yes.
Just a nice, gentle... Yeah, this side's pretty good. This side's good. Yeah, folks, this is what happens when you put a V8 in front of a Dana 30. Now, we didn't go out in a blaze of glory on the trail. We went down in a blaze of ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk because some jackass in Fort Collins, Colorado, pulled an illegal turn out of center of street diagonal parking and met us face to face, caused a bunch of other cars to slide to the stop. He backed up, let us go, which we had the right of way anyway. And in a brief moment of road rage, the tire got a little too much traction, and this is the beauty side. Check out this planetary. It has one tooth left. There's a tooth. There's a half a tooth. Yeah, give her a spin, John. Just see how many teeth are gone here. Yeah, I dropped the clutch on her pretty hard. And on a 70-degree day with sticky pavement and a Dana 35, traction is not your friend.
That's a full rotation.
That's full rotation. We're back to where all of the teeth are missing. Yep, it has about 3 teeth left. And we got these nice little spider gears down here. One of them lived pretty good, but then we've got this one. So, me and my buddy John, we pulled the cover, we pulled the spider gears, carrier's cracked, but we're good enough that we can put her back together. Say hi, John.
Hello.
And we're going to just drive it drag axle all the way back to Gillette, Wyoming, and then we'll transfer to the White Rolling Turd and we'll go home, and then decisions got to be made. Dana 44s or rebuild the Dana 30. But got a few miles to think about that one. Peace out. Now, as fate would have it, we didn't make it all the way to Gillette, Wyoming. No, we made it as far as the south side of Cheyenne, where that broken carrier let go, locked up the rear axle. Now, I don't know if y'all can see this, but this is what you call catastrophic failure. And this is what you call catastrophic failure. And of course it's slid out now. And this is what you call a catastrophic failure. I do believe we had a catastrophic failure of the Dana 35. Okay, let's get the tire off so we can roll it away, and we'll get the other side, and we'll get some WD on things, and we will be off and rolling. So let's start off by removing the drive shaft. And then get yourself a drain pad. Go ahead and take the hydraulic brake line. Next, let's remove both lower shock absorbers.
Now remove the 4 bolts that secure the sway bar. Now at the rear axle, remove both lower control arm bolts. Removing the coil springs will give you easier access to the upper control arm bolts. Before you remove the upper control arm bolts, make sure to disconnect the brake cables and remove them from the brackets that hold them to the upper control arm. Now let's grab our T55 Torx. Go ahead and take the panhard bar loose. We're just about ready to bring the old axle out. Now all total through this process, you'll remove 8 bolts that hold the drive shaft, 2 bolts for the lower shock mount, 4 bolts for the sway bar, 2 bolts for the lower control arms, 2 bolts for the upper control arms. You'll remove the hydraulic brake line. You'll disconnect both brake cables and their associated straps. And you'll remove 1 bolt from the panhard bar. So this is not exactly a difficult process. And as long as you don't have any leftover bolts when you go back together, you're doing just fine.
And this is where I stop the poop. Here. Here.
Whoa. And that is a catastrophic failure.
Yeah. And that is what a catastrophic failure looks like in a Dana 35. And away with that POS. Now, this new and improved salvage yard axle, the seals at the end of the axle look real good. The input shaft seal is just as dry as it can be. The other side's good. The only place we have any signs of any leakage is right around here. And just because we've got it out, we're going to go ahead and bust it open. And we're going to replace that gasket and fill it with new grease. Hit it, baby.
Now, anytime you purchase a used part from a salvage yard on eBay or anything where they're going to be transporting it by a DOT-approved carrier, they're going to remove all of the fluids out of it. Because there are rules about that as far as transporting hazardous waste. And just a note, everything you see in this video causes cancer in California. Now, using parts from a salvage yard may not be everybody's thing, but it has its advantages. Number one, it's good for the environment because you're reusing something that's already been built. There's no production energy to create a new one. And it can help you out if you don't exactly have deep pockets. Because if you'll look, a Curry axle or a Dynatrack, you can wrap up anywhere from $6,000 to $20,000 in an axle. And if you don't have deep pockets, salvage yard may be the way to go. Now, don't get me wrong, Dana 44s with lockers and disc brakes don't come cheap. This was a $2,000 axle, but it's fully tested, everything's good, the bearings are good, the seals are good, and the locker was tested before they removed it from the salvage vehicle. So we know it's in good condition.
A little hammer too. Grab the hammer. Find a spot where you can get on the edge of that cover and just kind of give it a little tappy tap, like that. Well, they let the fluids out for us. Okay, well that's good. Okay, so now we'll have to clean all this up, get the old... Just for reference, the Dana 44 that came in the Wrangler Rubicon TJs held approximately 2 quarts of 90 weight lube and 1 tube of friction modifier. Remember, this is a limited slip differential, and friction modifier is required. Now, compared to the Dana 35, the Dana 44 is going to feel like it weighs, about 1,000 pounds more. So I don't suggest lifting it by hand.
Use an engine hoist, use a crane, use some kind of mechanical lifting device. Your back will thank me. If you're lucky enough to come up with a Rubicon 44 for your base model Wrangler, plan on 8 hours at least to do the mechanical part of it. After all, it's not a race. Take your time, do everything in the correct sequence, and it'll all go smoothly for you. But plan for the unexpected, like that rusted bolt that you may have to beat on for a while or possibly put a torch to. And remember, just because you put the axle in doesn't mean the lockers are going to work. You still have some wiring and some plumbing to do, and a few more parts you've got to install. But we're going to hang on to that for another video. if you happen to have a brake warning light on your dash that you didn't have before, well, then you missed a step. Yes, you have to bleed your brakes. While you're at it, go ahead and adjust your park brake.